Welcome into the live stream. Just getting a few things set up here, and then we'll start the live here soon. All right, welcome into the stream. We are going to get started here very soon. All right. Let me know if the audio is working. I think it is. I'm going to check real quick, see if everything's working. All right. So, welcome into the live stream. Of course, we were talking about the 2-day severe weather outbreak that is about to unfold starting tomorrow, as you can see here from the Storm Prediction Center in the Midwest, and then shifting to the deep south for Saturday. And on Saturday, we could see more than just a severe weather outbreak. We could see a tornado outbreak as well, unfortunately. So 2 very serious days for severe weather. It has been a pretty long time since we've had 2 back-to-back days like this with such concerning and serious severe weather probabilities. So we're going to be looking into this, diving into the details, but a good evening, everyone, or I guess it's still afternoon, really, at 5 p.m. here in Central time zone here in St. Louis. So good evening to you all, and welcome into the live stream. So looking at tomorrow, of course, that's going to be our first day of 2 days we're looking for this multi-day severe weather outbreak, and we do have a moderate risk. This is a 4 out of 5. You can see right here in that red right there, that is a 4 out of 5 risk. Very serious risk here. And that stretches from Peoria, Illinois, through St. Louis, Missouri, where I am located. So expect updates from St. Louis, down through areas such as Paducah, Kentucky, and even there into parts of northwestern Tennessee there. So we do have that moderate risk. That's where we're expecting the greatest impacts, but also an enhanced risk, a very large one at that extends all the way south into parts of middle and eastern Mississippi there, into parts of Tennessee, Memphis, Tennessee, all the way north towards Des Moines, Iowa. But we're really focusing in here along the Mississippi River from the Midwest down through the mid-Mississippi River Valley. A line of storms is going to head through that region as we head into tomorrow evening and into the overnight hours, pushing into states such as Illinois, Kentucky, Tennessee, as well as Mississippi, and really going to be mostly in Tennessee, Kentucky, and Illinois as we head into the overnight hours. But in the evening hours, we're going to see that in Iowa, Missouri, Arkansas. Again, a line of storms is going to be moving through, and this is going to be capable of producing strong, maybe brief, but still strong tornadoes, damaging winds, and hail as well. So looking at our threats for Friday, we do have a moderate tornado risk, meaning we could have some scattered tornadoes with this system. Inside the line of storms, we could have embedded supercells, and that's where we're looking at the tornado threat. So a place like St. Louis, where I live, and maybe some of you guys, because I do have some local viewers as well, up through the Mississippi Valley towards Hannibal, Missouri, down south towards Cape Girardeau, Missouri, even towards a place like Memphis, Little Rock, Arkansas, and points north, and all the way again up towards Peoria, Illinois. We are looking at a tornado threat. Damaging winds, though, that is going to be the biggest threat as we head into tomorrow. Again, this is going to be tomorrow evening for Iowa, Missouri, and northern Arkansas, and then head into the overnight hours for areas like Illinois, Kentucky, and Tennessee. But damaging winds definitely going to be the largest threat, as we usually do see with lines of storms here. And then we also do have a hail threat as well. That's at a moderate. We aren't expecting very large hail, but definitely could see some hail within this line of storms. But I think the 2 biggest threats we're really going to have to watch out for, of course, damaging winds. If you're in any of those areas I just mentioned, I just showed the map. If you just came on, don't really know what we're talking about the 2-day severe weather outbreak coming up. And if you want to know where am I going to be seeing these storms, go back and look at those areas I just highlighted. Again, because if you're any of these areas that we're expecting storms tomorrow, you need to get all of the loose items in your backyard, on your patio, anywhere like that, outside of your structure, outside of your house. You need to get that inside, or really really close to the ground and really secure. That's the word I'm looking for there, secure, because we're going to have damaging winds, and those winds could be strong. They could be above 50, 60, maybe even 70 mile per hour gusts here with this line of storms, and you don't want things blowing around out there, and you definitely want to be away from windows. If you're caught within this line of storms, you see on the radar, okay, a line of storms is heading towards me, and maybe you're outside. You need to get inside and away from windows, and just do not be outdoors when that line of storms comes through if you're in one of those areas. But again, damaging winds, tornadoes, that's the biggest threat for Friday. Now, moving on to Saturday. This is the day a lot of people have been talking about. Looks even more serious and potent, concerning whatever word you want to use, then Friday. It's going to be a severe weather outbreak for sure, but could it be a tornado outbreak? That is very possible as well. We do have a moderate risk, and keep in mind this is the day 3 outlook. So a day 3 moderate risk hasn't been issued in 3 years. That's how high confidence is in extremely dangerous storms across parts of the Deep South. So we have this from Birmingham, Alabama, over towards Tupelo and points south, Meridian, Mississippi, Starkville, Mississippi, all the way down towards Biloxi area as well, and into Jackson, Mississippi as well. All of those areas I just mentioned, and if you're in this area, especially in the orange and the red here, the orange and the red, the enhanced risk in orange, 3 out of 5, and the moderate risk in red, 4 out of 5. If you're in any of those areas, pay attention to what I'm about to say, because Saturday, again, Saturday afternoon into evening is going to be a very, very dangerous time in these 2 states, Mississippi, Alabama, parts of Louisiana as well, and eventually stretching into Georgia in the overnight hours, because we could see long-tracked violent tornadoes, damaging winds, and large hail. It's all on the table for Saturday, and I'll be covering the storms Friday night in St. Louis, but what you may not know, I don't think I've said this publicly yet, is that I will be traveling south down towards Mississippi as we are going on spring break. We're going to be stopping in Mississippi to break up the drive, so it'll all depend on the timing for my driving to see if we'll have any coverage of these storms. But yeah, I will be in the Mississippi area as we head into Saturday, so I may have coverage on this. Again, it depends when those storms initiate, when they hit the areas that I'm going to be staying in. But if you are, again, in this orange enhanced risk from Atlanta through Nashville, down through Gulf Shores, Mobile area, into Pensacola, Florida, New Orleans is in the moderate risk as well. Again, red and orange here, those are the areas where you really do need to be prepared, because looking at the severe potential, you can see this is even more heightened than tomorrow's threat in the Midwest. Again, this is in the Deep South for states such as Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and parts of Georgia as well. Tornado risk is going to be high. We could see long-tracked violent tornadoes in Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, maybe even into Georgia as well as we head into Saturday afternoon, evening, and overnight hours. Damaging winds as well. We are expecting these storms to eventually probably form a line of storms that will create damaging winds, and large hail that can be expected as well. So pretty much the big three that we're always talking about, tornadoes, damaging winds, and large hail, those 3 are maxed out pretty much right now, and so we're looking at a severe weather outbreak for sure, and possibly a tornado outbreak if we really see the right ingredients come into play. And there's really not many limiting factors for this. You know, we could have some morning convection, but that's not looking very significant. I do think Saturday is going to be a very dangerous day in Mississippi and Alabama. You need to be extremely weather aware. Again, if you're in any of those areas I just mentioned, from New Orleans, Louisiana, through Birmingham, Alabama, Meridian, Mississippi, Jackson, Mississippi, up through Tupelo, Mississippi as well. In any of those areas I just showed on that map, you really do need to be prepared for severe weather on Saturday. It does look like it's going to be a very dangerous day. This isn't your typical, oh, we're expecting a couple storms today. This is possibly a tornado outbreak expected. And, people like to throw that word around a lot. I don't, and I don't use it very much, but this could be a tornado outbreak here on Saturday, and that means it's going to be a very serious situation. And then lastly, flooding is at moderate, so we could have a flooding risk, especially into Tennessee, Mississippi, northern Mississippi, and northern Alabama here as well. So I do want to look at the HRRR model, which is kind of what the radar could look like here in the future. So let me get this pulled up. I will be right back. It's going to say stream is about to start, but I'll really just be right back. All right, we're back. Let me see here. Okay. Okay. So, first we're going to take a look at the severe weather expected on Friday. Again, we just went over the Storm Prediction Center outlooks and the threats for both Friday and Saturday. So if you're just tuning in, right now we're looking at models. If you want to get the rest of the details we just went over, just head back in the stream, rewind it a little bit, and you can get all of those details. But first we're going to be looking at the Friday threat from HRRR High Resolution Rapid Refresh model here that shows what the radar could look like as we head into Friday evening. And again, into the late afternoon, into the evening is when we're going to be seeing a line of storms, or maybe clusters of storms in a line form, and that's going to be heading through parts of southern Iowa, as you can see here, by the time we get towards 5 or 6 p.m. As we head towards 8 p.m. here, we're going to be starting to see those storms head into parts of Missouri as well, into eastern Missouri, especially as we head into the late evening and overnight hours. So this is around, I think, 10 or 11 o'clock. Right here, and we're starting to see those storms move into St. Louis. And again, anywhere along this line, again, we're looking around 9 to 12 a.m. really in this time frame is when we could see these storms in here. And anywhere along these clusters of storms that are going to be in a line, we could have areas of rotation. Therefore, we could have some strong but brief tornadoes, and that's, again, St. Louis is going to be a spot where we're going to have to be watching. I, of course, will have reports on there, and if you are in the St. Louis forecast, or in the St. Louis area, and you want a very detailed forecast from me, tune into the Real Monica Adams Show. You can search up on YouTube, Twitter, pretty much every social media platform. Tomorrow at 7 a.m. Central Time, I will have a full forecast for the St. Louis area, just to mention that. But again, through the evening, we're looking, we're looking at the late afternoon into evening at this point. So this is late afternoon, and then we're heading into the evening, seeing strong storms into parts of Iowa there, as well as getting started into parts of central Missouri. Again, damaging winds, some small hail, and brief, strong tornadoes will be possible. We could also see that as far south as Arkansas, not really showing it on this model into the late evening, early overnight hours, but we could see that into Arkansas and eventually spread into parts of northern Tennessee, western Kentucky there as well. But again, as we head into the late evening and overnight hours, that's when we'll see that start making its way into the St. Louis region, Peoria region. The line of storms does pretty much fizzle out as we head into the late overnight hours, really even into the early morning hours. On Saturday, as it heads towards Nashville, the threat will decrease a little bit, although we could see a couple supercells form Saturday morning into parts of northern Mississippi, northern Alabama, but overall not looking at a very big threat once the line really fizzles out. And then looking at Saturday, if we can get this to go to the southeast, the HRRR has not gone out very far yet, of course, because we are still a ways away from this happening on Saturday. But looking at around 10 a.m. to 11, this is, I think, this is 11 or 10 a.m. I think this is 10 a.m. here. And you can see, again, in the yellow and orange and blue here, that's where we have rain. And we're going to start seeing storms. The timing isn't certain yet. That's why, we still have to go over some details. Definitely follow me on Twitter for more updates. I will be having a ton of updates on the Friday, which is tomorrow, and on Saturday's threat, which we're looking at right now. But it looks like sometime, maybe in the late morning, maybe in the early afternoon, is when we'll have those storms initiate into parts of eastern Louisiana here, move into Mississippi, and through the afternoon into the early evening in Mississippi, we are going to see supercells, semi-discrete supercells, capable of producing large hail, again, damaging winds, and strong, violent tornadoes. And eventually, as we head into the early evening here, into the, well, actually, the HRRR doesn't show it, but this is showing 1 p.m. This is 1 p.m. on Saturday. Again, timing can change, but we're just thinking about afternoon at this point, because, this could be 4 p.m., by tomorrow afternoon. That can definitely change with these models, which you probably all know. The weather does change, the models change, so this will likely change. This could be 1 p.m. again tomorrow, or this could be 4 p.m. But looking at the afternoon until the early evening, this is likely what we're going to be dealing with into parts of Mississippi, moving into Alabama as well towards the overnight hours, is semi-discrete supercells capable of producing large hail, damaging winds, and strong, long-tracked, violent tornadoes. That's why it's so important with this sort of setup to really be prepared for severe storms. So again, tomorrow afternoon into parts of western Louisiana, or not tomorrow, Saturday afternoon into parts of western Louisiana, into pretty much all of Mississippi, but especially central, southern, and into parts of eastern Mississippi there. And then to Alabama in the overnight hours on Saturday, and then moving further into the overnight hours into Georgia Saturday night into early Sunday morning. So again, that's what we're talking about, semi-discrete supercells. I think Mississippi, if you're anywhere in Mississippi on Saturday, especially south of an area like Tupelo, towards Starkville, Meridian, Jackson, you need to be very prepared for severe storms Saturday afternoon into the evening. Again, timing not so sure yet, but we do know this is going to be an afternoon and maybe even stretch into the evening. And then as well as places like Birmingham, Alabama, towards Tuscaloosa, Alabama, points south as well towards Mobile, down there in southern Alabama. We're talking Saturday evening into Saturday overnight. So Saturday evening and Saturday overnight, maybe even late afternoon. Again, this timing all depends, but likely in the evening there into parts of Alabama. You need to be prepared for strong storms, just like I said, capable of producing damaging winds, long-track tornadoes, violent tornadoes, and large hail. All hazards are on the table. And like I said earlier, this isn't any old, oh, we're expecting a couple storms today, severe weather setup. This is a very dangerous, rare severe weather setup that you need to be prepared for and just be super, super weather aware as we head into Saturday. So now that we're done looking at the models, let me pull up one more thing, the graphic from the National Weather Service here. So let's get this. Okay, so storm planning timeline. Right now for Saturday, we are a few days out. Let me step over here. We're a few days out from the storms hitting. Right now, for Friday, we are the day before. So the day before, what do you want to do? Adjust your plans. Make sure your phone it can receive WEAs, those alerts, and ensure your shelter is clean and accessible. And also go over your safety plan. Again, like I said, if you have plans tomorrow night in a place like St. Louis that are outside, you want to cancel them. If they're inside even, you want to be very weather aware. You know, stay tuned to the radar. If there's storms coming, start knowing, okay, where are we going to find shelter if we fall under a severe thunderstorm warning or a tornado warning? And then a few days out for areas in the deep south, we're expecting severe weather. Make sure you have emergency supplies, know your safe places, and have a family communication plan. Again, it's very important today and tomorrow if you're in the deep south, but especially today if you're in the Midwest, mid-Mississippi Valley for the threat tomorrow, to go over your family safety plan, because you don't want to, be there as the severe weather is happening and you're like, I don't know where to go, what's our plan, where are we going to go, and get caught in it, because this is really important for you, especially with severe weather setups so potent and so dangerous like we're expecting tomorrow and on Saturdays. So have that plan. Where is your safe place? How are you going to get prepared for this weather? Where are you going to get your alerts from, and how are you going to stay weather aware throughout the day? Make that plan right now if you're anywhere in the Midwest, mid-Mississippi Valley for Friday, and then moving into the deep south as we head into Saturday. Again, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, and on Friday, parts of southern Iowa, Missouri, especially eastern Missouri, parts of Illinois as well, especially western Illinois, western Kentucky, western Tennessee, and parts of southeastern Missouri as well. So again, look at this and do all this. If you're the day before for Friday, a few days out for the south for Saturday, make sure you have those preparations in place. It is so, so important to have those preparations in place so you are not caught off guard. And again, stay tuned to the forecast. Follow me here on YouTube, or you might be watching on Twitter as well, because I will be posting a lot here in the coming days. And then the last graphic here is Weather Call. As you may know, I have partnered with Weather Call. I'll get away from the QR code here. But imagine getting a call from me when severe weather strikes. It's very important, again, to be prepared for severe storms. And just for $15 a year, you can get a call from me for severe thunderstorm warnings, tornado warnings. If you have a tornado warning and it gets upgraded to a confirmed tornado warning, you'll get another call. You don't have to worry about, oh, is my weather app going to tell me if a tornado is coming or not? You will get the call. Location-based warnings, phone calls, as well as emails and texts, 15 seconds or less. From the tornado warning or severe weather warning or flash flood warning being issued. Again, various warning types: severe thunderstorm warning, tornado warning, flash flood emergency, and high wind as well. You're going to have no ads, no videos, accurate, timely, and reliable here. And if you do want to sign up from that, click the link or the QR code right there. Take a picture of that. And I also put the link in the chat as well. So it's just so important to be prepared for the severe weather, and I'm partnering with Weather Call Next Gen. And you, again, can get a call from me when you get any severe weather warnings. And you don't have to worry. You're going to get that call. When your Weather Call calls you, you know to take shelter. And it's, again, 15 seconds or less when the warning is issued. So have a great rest of your evening, everyone. Please be prepared for that severe weather tomorrow on Friday and Saturday. Again, this isn't your typical setup for Friday, really, or especially Saturday. We are expecting very dangerous storms tomorrow in the Midwest, mid-Mississippi Valley, and the Deep South on Saturday. So have a great rest of your evening. Stay prepared out there, and I will see you soon with